Hi everyone, my name is Rishika Pal. Today I'll be explaining you the chapter number 10, Light from class 8 science textbook. So let's begin. What is light? Light is a phenomenon that helps us see objects around us. What do you understand by this diagram? This diagram shows the incident ray, the normal and the reflected ray. The incident ray is the ray that bounces off a surface. Reflected ray is a ray that comes back after reflection. Normal is the angle between reflected ray and the incident ray. The angle of reflection is the angle between the normal and the reflected ray, whereas the angle of incidence is the angle between normal and the incident ray. Now let us see the two laws of reflection. The laws of reflection. The incident ray, the reflected ray and the normal lie in the same plane, as you can see in the diagram below. The angle of incidence I equals the angle of reflection. That means the angle of incidence, that is I, and the angle of reflection, that is R, they both are of the same angle. What is lateral inversion? When you raise your right hand in front of the mirror, it seems like you have raised the left hand in the mirror. This phenomenon is known as the lateral inversion. Irregular and regular reflection. There are two types of reflections, irregular and regular reflection. Irregular reflection. The parallel rays reflected from a rough surface are not parallel. These kind of reflections are called irregular or diffused reflection. What are luminous and non-luminous objects? As you can see in the picture, moon is an example of a non-luminous object. That's because it does not emit its own light. Thus, it is known as a non-luminous object. Whereas sun, which emits its own light, is called luminous object. These non-luminous objects shine in the light of other luminous objects. Let us see what is a periscope. A periscope is an optical instrument that lets you see over or around objects. The simplest periscope is a tube with mirrors at each and set parallel to each other at angle of 45 degrees. Now we have learned about the first device. There is another device, it's kaleidoscope. It is an optical toy consisting of two mirrors at a particular angle. Some common uses of kaleidoscope produces beautiful patterns that are used by fashion designers. Dispersion of white light. In this diagram, you can see that white light is split into 7 colors. This phenomenon by which the white light is split into 7 colors is known as the dispersion of light. The eye. Now let us learn about the structure of our eye. First, let us see how many parts are there. There is cornea, iris, pupil, ciliary muscle, retina, optic nerve, and lens. First, let us see what is cornea. Cornea is a clear portion of the eye that protects the eye from any type of incidents or accidents. Iris is a part of the eye that gives the eye its color. It controls the amount of light entering the eyes. The pupil, its size is controlled by the iris. It allows light to pass into the lens. Ciliary muscles are nothing but the muscles of the eyes. Retina. It contains several nerve cells. Sensations felt by these cells are transmitted to the brain. There are two types of nerve cells in the retina, the cones and the rods. Cones are sensitive to bright light, while rods are sensitive to dim light. Next one is the optic nerve. It sends messages to the brain. The retina collects messages from the eye and transfers it to the brain through the optic nerves. The lens is like the mirror in our eyes. It helps us process images. Now, let us see what are the defects of the eyes. There are three defects of the eyes: myopia, hypermetropia, and cataract. Cataract is a disease that affects only old people. In this disease, the old people's eyes get foggy and there's a loss of vision, sometimes very severe. Whereas myopia and hypermetropia can be cured by particular lenses. Myopia is an eye defect that does not allow you to see things that are far away. Whereas in hypermetropia, you cannot see objects that are close to you. Myopia is also called as short-sightedness, whereas hypermetropia is called long-sightedness. Now let us see how to take care of her eyes. We have to go for a regular eye check. And second, distance adjustment. You have to keep objects at a distance in which you're comfortable to see at. Eat healthy food, eye exercises, and proper lighting while reading. Have you heard of the term Braille? A Braille is a system developed by Louis Braille in 1824 to help visually challenged people. It is a code by which languages such as English, French, Spanish, etc. can be written and read. This code consists of raised dots that can be read with fingers by blind people. It is a fact that Louis Braille was himself blind. So with this, we come to the end of the chapter, and I hope you like the video. Thank you. Have a nice day ahead.